Now here are your hosts, Cole Bryson and Dean Bridges.
Hour number 3 of the Saturday Sports Report, Fox Sports 1400, 98.3 FM anywhere in the world on the TuneIn Radio app. And we will quickly go back to the phones, 864-468-1400, where we welcome in another guest here on the program. Tom Luginbill of ESPN joins the program this morning. Good morning, and thank you for coming on, Tom.
Good morning, fellas. How are we doing today?
Doing well. Hope you are. Excited to talk a little college football. As in the South, we could talk about it every Saturday, and our listeners would be just fine with it. But a long way away, Tom. You have been at several practices in the SEC, I'm sure, with what you do. But you also have been at South Carolina in the past couple of weeks and made a comment, I believe, on SiriusXM about how fast this South Carolina offense looked, and said how it kind of reminded you of an old school Oregon offense. Talk a little bit about what you've seen from the Gamecocks offense this season.
Well, one of the things that Will Muschamp wanted to do going forward is he really felt it was important, particularly for their offensive line, to have a sense of urgency and to speed things up. And he felt like that type of approach offensively would actually be the best approach for his entire team. And when I went down there, each and every spring we do what we call our spring tours for the SEC network, and we spend 2 days at each campus, all 14 schools, and just sitting there and watching them practice. When you make that philosophical shift to be an up-tempo speed team, everything you do is about movement and quickness and sense of urgency. Well, that affects the rest of your football team. It affects your defense. It affects your kicking game. When you're in 7-on-7 or you're in 11-on-11 drills and you're going from one play to the next, everybody has to keep up. It's not just about the offense. And I made that comment about reminding me of what Oregon looked like under Chip Kelly. One of the things that was always impressive about Oregon when he was there is when you watch them practice, everything was 100 miles an hour. Now, it's one thing to practice fast and to play fast. It's another thing to execute while you're playing fast. And I think that with the weapons that South Carolina has coming back, if you get a healthy Debo Samuel, Ortre Smith, and Shi Smith really emerged at the end of last year, you have a scheme now that really accentuates Jake Bentley's strengths. So I think it's a good move. It looked like it was something that had a positive impact on their entire roster. So I think it will be something that will be favorable and positive for them going forward.
Tom, a lot of people have talked about Dakereon Joyner being on that roster, who is a South Carolina guy who has a lot of speed. In your opinion, do you think Jake Bentley has what it takes to lead this team to an SEC title?
Well, I think there's no question he's one of the best quarterbacks in the conference, and certainly I think you could probably look at the SEC East Division right now, and you've got Jake Fromm at Georgia. I mean, Jake Bentley's probably right there. And Dakereon Joyner's in school. He's participating in spring ball. I think he's a long way away. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually he ends up getting moved to another position. I don't think he's ready right now to play. This is clearly Jake Bentley's offense. And again, I think that the move to more of an up-tempo RPO, one-pass option attack, is going to be really something that will accentuate Jake's strengths. And when you talk about competing for a division title or getting to Atlanta, you've got to look at the schedule. And I'm always a guy that looks at 3 things. Who do you play, when do you play, and where do you play? So if you look at South Carolina's schedule, they don't draw LSU, Auburn, or Alabama out of the West, and they get Georgia at home. And those are positives. That really, I think, is something that could lend to being a quality year when you consider this team a year ago won 9 games. They're every bit as equipped, I think, to do the same thing this year.
Along with the backs, I think the backs and the quarterback and everybody can handle the up-tempo. Will the line for South Carolina be able to handle the up-tempo? Would that be better for them?
It's interesting you ask that question, because one of the things that Will Muschamp brought up when he was the defensive coordinator for Gus Malzahn that one season at Auburn prior to coming to South Carolina, they were not very good. And these are Will Muschamp's words. He goes, we weren't very good in the offensive line, but it was our tempo that allowed us to run the ball because we beat everybody to the punch. And I thought that was a really interesting take. And so I think what he's figuring is, hey, if we got to break in some new bodies, if we got some new guys, okay, let's get this tempo going so that we can maybe catch people off guard, get them on their heels a little bit, and maybe help alleviate the growth process of the offensive line. So, yeah, you're onto something there, because there's no question that's how Will Muschamp feels about it.
Tom Luginbill joining us on the Saturday Sports Report. Tom, in your opinion, what does South Carolina need to do other than what we've talked about so far to get over that hump? Obviously, implementing the up-tempo offense is something new, but anything else they can do, in your opinion, to really for Muschamp to take them over the hump and get to an SEC title for the first time in South Carolina history?
Yeah, I think it's probably one or two more recruiting classes away, because they're still not where they need to be in terms of depth along the offensive and defensive front. And listen, the SEC is a line of scrimmage league. I will say this: they've got more bodies and more types of players that look the part than they had 3 years ago, so they're getting there. But you don't wave a magic wand and just have that happen overnight. So I think you'll see improvement along the defensive front. They've got much better players than they've had the last couple of years. I don't know if they're where they need to be yet. I think they acknowledge that and understand that. So there's still work to be done.
Absolutely. And you talked about Deebo Samuel coming back with the Jake Bentley, Deebo Samuel. You would think they have enough firepower offensively to get it done. Mm-hmm. Tom, before we let you go, other teams, from a national perspective, other teams that have caught your eye in your spring practices this year?
The Clemson Tigers, without question. In fact, myself, Chris Fowler, and Brock Hewitt will be calling the Clemson spring game on the 14th. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I just think that team is really loaded top to bottom, and has an opportunity to come out of the gate and be one of college football's special teams going forward. I think the quarterback competition at Alabama is very intriguing, and how that plays out between Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa is going to be a lot of fun to watch. The question for me, coming off of last fall and seeing some teams this spring and looking around the landscape of college football, is how can the Big 12 and the Pac-12 get over the hump? I saw a lot of those teams last fall. They're not the same team at the line of scrimmage that teams out of the ACC, SEC, and Big 10 are. So how do they get into the mix for a college football playoff? Even with a Washington out of the Pac-12 or a USC out of the Pac-12, I still think there's big question marks. The Big 12 now, where will Oklahoma be in comparison to everybody else? How much of a leap will Texas make is going to be interesting to me. I'm really concerned about those two conferences in terms of their viability. I feel like out of the Power 5 conferences, there's really three in the Big 10, ACC, and the SEC that are offering championship-style teams. And I don't know if we have any out of the Big 12 and the Pac-12.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It's been a long time since they've been over that hump, and we'll see if they can. Tom, we so much appreciate your time this morning, and we look forward to hearing your call at the Clemson spring game, and best of luck this season.
You bet, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, Tom. That's Tom Luginbill of ESPN joining us on the Saturday Sports Report.